So let's talk to us since we just landed on him. There is obviously this is all contingent on him, right? I mean, every move we just discussed, even on defense, we could talk about how Minka is going to bring a different maybe locker room vibe than Jalen Ramsey, and that might be an addition by subtraction right there, just for Mike McDaniel and team chemistry and what have you. But I can speak from personal viewing, as we all could. If Zach Wilson's in there, it's a different story, Omar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what is? I know Tua was talking about playing with a better sense of self-preservation. What does that look like, do you think, Omar?
We saw it at times in the 2023 season. He saw the pressure coming and he just immediately went to the ground. This is a situation where Tua has to learn how to throw the ball away. Even in practice, that's just not something that he operates doing. He buys time, he waits, and then he throws it. At some point, you got to start learn how to throw that ball away. I think it's probably and stay in the pocket. Tua is well aware that this Dolphins team only goes as far as he can take them, and that requires him to stay healthy. Unfortunately, he's only done that for one of his 5 NFL seasons.
Yeah, and so, Tyreek Hill is still there, even though it appeared at the end of last season when the season was over. He said something publicly that made it sound like he was going to demand a trade. Chris Greer had to talk about it publicly. It seems to be back in the bottle right now, but is that something that could bubble to the surface once regular season rubber hits the road?
Absolutely. I think if they're losing, you're going to see a disgruntled Tyreek Hill. People don't understand in that situation at the end of that Jets game, Tyreek was frustrated by his situation. This is the first time in his 9-year career that he never made it to the postseason. That just was not satisfactory. And then, as I said, for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, he said all the right things a captain should. He talked about things that happened during the season, and said all the right things. And then, like that, a switch flip. And Tyreek became Tyreek and basically said, you know what, if this is not a situation I want to be part of. Now, that was speaking from emotion. As time progressed, Tyreek realized how well the Dolphins organization has treated him and his family throughout the years. He realized he just got a new contract and basically said, you know what, I'm really changing my tune in terms of wanting out. I'm going to give this one more try. But to me, I personally believe that they're not winning. You might see Tyreek Hill on the trade block by the trade deadline.
Man, that would be something else. I mean, but you take a look at this team, though, and in Mike McDaniel's image of wanting to be fast and quick and get a guy who, like Tua, can get the ball out quickly and accurately. You look at Hill, Waddle, Westbrook-Ikhine, I thought was a terrific pickup from Tennessee right there. Achane, Jalen Wright. I mean, this is a quick team. And the question is when it all comes down to it, cold weather, what happens? I mean, it's the age-old question about the Miami Dolphins, right? But
it's speed and it's finesse, but it's not necessarily what they need. They need physicality. They need toughness. And that's part of what changing the culture of the team has really been about. When adversity hits, they generally buckle to it. And you have to be tough mentally, you have to be tough physically, and you have to play for one another and care about one another. During OTAs, Bradley, I've always heard the same thing about changing the culture around here, but Bradley Chubb was the first one to admit, hey, when we said it last year, we were probably lying. We didn't work that hard to be a team that's a collection of. We were just a bunch of individuals, and that comes to Jalen Ramsey, a mercenary. Everybody was out for themselves. Everybody focused on themselves. Now they have to focus on building a better team, a better unity, and leaders have to step up, and that includes Tua.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.